Year 9, Mrs. Nunneley here. Welcome to the first video of English Bites. Now, these videos aim to support the learning of the scheme of learning that we're covering in English, which is Gothic Horror. These videos will be shorter, they will focus on the same skills, but hopefully they will give you just that added level of support. So let's start. Oh, I need to bring up my PowerPoint. Sorry about that. Here we go. So Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote the short story called The Telltale Heart, and we know that this is a Gothic horror story. Again, it was written in 1843. So we're going to have a look at a version of his story today. The two things we're going to look at is understanding a pre-20th century text. So this is something that was written before the 20th century. So it would be, written in the 1800s. And we know this is because this was written in 1843. And we're going to look at juxtaposition. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry. That's what this lesson's about, okay? So just stay with me. So the first thing I want you to think about are these lovelies here. What are they? Well, they're vultures, and they are a bird of prey, and that means that they hunt for their food and they eat meat as well. Now, vultures in particular are interesting, and do you know why? What is it about vultures that makes them interesting? Well, vultures tend to wait until a mammal has died, and then they circle the area and they go and they eat the dead body. And so when we think about vultures, and if we were to call somebody a vulture, would we be calling them something positive or something negative? Yes, it would generally be something negative. Vultures are not seen as something positive in our society. I don't know why. They are just living their life as vultures should. But it's a sense of them waiting for something to die and then to pounce in there and to eat them. Just has quite a negative feeling about it, doesn't it? So that's the first thing we're going to think about. I promise this is connected to the story, which is why I'm guessing you to think about it now. Okay, so when you are starting reading a story or a poem or a novel, the best place to start is the title. And here we have the title, The Telltale Heart. And this word has got a hyphen in the middle, you can see. So it's a word that is meant to be said together, the telltale heart. So what does this title mean? Well, let's start by thinking about what is a telltale. So if you call somebody a telltale, why are you calling them that? What are you saying about them? And it's something that you may say to somebody when you were younger, and these days you might call them a snitch. Somebody who goes and tells on you, somebody who goes to the teacher to tell them if you've done something wrong, a brother or a sister who might go to the mum or the dad and say what the brother or sister has been doing that is naughty. So a telltale is a snitch, okay? Somebody who tells on you. So this is interesting, isn't it, as a title, The Telltale Heart. The heart that is a snitch. What does that mean? So the best place to start is reading, and this is the first paragraph. Nervous. I was and continue to be very, very nervous person. But why would you say that I am mad? The sickness had made my senses stronger, not weakened them. Above all, my sense of hearing was much better. I could hear things that other men could not hear. How then am I mad? Listen and see how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. Okay, let's just pause here. So I know that before this lesson you will have done some work on some of the vocabulary. So hopefully you can see some of the vocabulary here. Interesting that the first word is nervous. So that sets the tone, doesn't it? That gives us an idea of what this story is going to be like. It's not going to be calm and restful and happy, because the first word is nervous. And there's an exclamation mark there, isn't there? Look at that. So it's like a punchy statement. Now, the narrator, and that's the person whose voice this is, the I, the person, the narrator, is saying that he's nervous, but he asks us a question. He asks the reader a question. Why would you say that I'm mad? So clearly somebody has accused him of being mad, or he's feeling a little bit self-conscious and worried that people think he's mad. But he says the sickness had made my senses stronger. So the sickness. So we know that before the story started, he was feeling unwell, and he was poorly. But this illness that he had, it's not made him weak. He says it's made him stronger. And in what sense? Well, he says my senses, and here are the senses. So he's saying since he's been ill, his vision is better, his hearing is better, his sense of smell is better, he can taste more, and his touch is better. Okay, that's what he's saying. And he says here that his hearing is so much better. He could hear things that other men could not hear. It's a bit strange, isn't it? So is he really hearing it? He can hear it, but no one else can hear it. And he thinks it's because his hearing is better. Now, you decide. Is that because his hearing is better since he's been sick? Or is it because he is actually going mad and he can hear things that no one else can hear? I'm going to let you decide what you think about the narrator at this point. So he's going to tell us the whole story. Okay, let's see. Right, quick check. But why would you say that I am mad? How then am I mad? The narrator says this to the reader twice. Why? Why do you think? Well, it links to question 2. And that should say, why is mad repeated, not what is mad repeated. I apologise for that. Why is mad repeated? Now, there's a sense, isn't there, here, that if he says, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, what do we think as a reader? Do we think he's mad, or do we think he's not mad? I know what I think. I think it means he's mad because he's trying to convince me and make me believe very strongly that he's not mad. Why does he feel the need to do that? I think because he is mad. That's just my thoughts. What do we learn about how he has been feeling? So just before the story started, how is he feeling? Bit louder? Yes, he was feeling poorly. He was feeling sick, wasn't he? Okay, so we know that. What does he say the illness has done to him? Has it made him stronger or has it made him weaker? He says it's made him stronger. What is stronger? Yes, his senses. He says his senses are stronger than they were before he was ill. Okay, that's what he's telling us. Okay, let's read on. It is impossible to say how the idea first entered my mind, but once it did, I thought about it day and night. I loved the old man. He had never done anything bad to me. I did not want his gold or anything else in his house. I think it was his eye. Yes, that is what it was. He had the eye of a vulture. The eye was light blue with a cloudy film over it. Whenever it looked at me, I felt very scared. I had to make the eye go away. And there we've got a picture of the eye. So he dislikes this eye. He said, I loved the old man. Okay, he likes the old man a lot. Okay. What doesn't he like about the old man? His eye. And what do we think is wrong with this old man's eye? And here's a quote from the original story. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. A film, a very, very thin piece, like of material, in this case, some kind of film of some kind of flesh over the eye. And we can assume, we can guess that the old man was blind in one eye. And here I've got a picture of the vulture's eye, and you can see here why he's describing the old man's eye like a vulture's eye, because clearly it looks like that. But he's not mad. Remember that? He's told us over and over again he's not mad. I'll leave that for you to decide. So slowly, day by day, week by week, I made up my mind to kill the old man. Now, this is the point. You think that I am mad. Mad people don't think clearly. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how carefully, how cleverly I did it. Okay, quick check. Why did he want to kill the old man? Yes, he wanted to kill the old man because he didn't like his eye. He called it the vulture eye, didn't he? What does this suggest about the narrator? Okay, so here's the information. We have a man who says, I loved the old man. I don't like the eye, so I'm going to kill him. What does this tell us? What does this suggest about the narrator? That he's mad? I think it does, doesn't it? I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I quietly opened his bedroom door and I put in a dark lantern. It was burning, but covered so that no light shone out. And then I put my head in. Okay, let's just take that little bit. So he was kind to the old man. He was never kinder, so that means he was as kind as he could ever be. The week before he killed him, he was very kind to him. Midnight, he'd open the door very slightly and put a dark lantern. The lantern is a type of light that they had in the old days. And he covered the light so that there was no light coming out, so it was all dark. And here's the picture here. He just put his head through the opening of the door. And then, when my head was fully inside the room, I carefully opened a small part of the lantern cover. I did this in such a way that a single thin ray of light fell upon the vulture eye, and I did this for 7 long nights. Okay, so when he gets his head inside that little ajar door, he gets his light and he just takes the cover off just a tiny bit, and then a tiny ray of light comes out, and guess where that ray of light goes? It lands just on the man's blind vulture eye. And there's the picture there. Now, think about this. If the tiny ray of light is shining on the eye that is blind, can the old man see the light? No, because the eye is blind. It cannot see the light. Okay, so he did this every night. And this is what we're learning today. And so it's term alert. So this would be a good time to get your pen, get your paper, and to write this down. Okay, so I've taken this quotation. I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. Now, why is that interesting? Well, these 2 words are words I would like you to write down. Let's start with juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. So we know the word position already. Position is where you place something, where it is. Juxta adds a different meaning to the word position. Juxtaposition means 2 things being seen or placed close together with contrasting effect. So let's start with this, contrasting effect. So 2 things that are very different, maybe opposite, are next to each other or close together in a piece of writing. So when we look at this, which 2 words do I think are really different, yet they are close together in this sentence? I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. There's 2 words that are so different. I think one of the words is kinder. When you're really kind to somebody, you're really nice to them, aren't you? Okay, so if I think one of the words is kinder, which is the other word that is very, very different to the word kind? Yes, you've got it, killed. How can you be kind and then kill them? You know, that is juxtaposition, because they are 2 things that are very different. They are contrasting and they are put together in one sentence. The other thing is, it's quite ironic. It's irony. Now, irony is an idea that seems deliberately against or surprising to what is expected and is often dryly amusing as a result. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so this idea that you put something in a sentence on purpose, that's deliberately on purpose, and it's surprising, often amusing, and you've put it in there to surprise somebody and to maybe amuse them a little bit, even if it's a slightly dark amusement. It's like, oh, bit weird, but quite funny. Maybe that's irony. And I'll give you an example. This is ironic. He was, the week before he killed him, he was so kind to the old man. Oh, that's nice. And then a week later, you killed him. That's ironic. It's kind of weird and it's very surprising. And it's almost a bit amusing. Like, oh, you think that's nice that you were nice to him the week before you killed him. Yeah, well done. You know, it's that kind of thing. So we do have, it's kind of shocking as well. We do have that shocking effect here, don't we? Because you're reading it and you say, I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. As a reader, you're shocked by that. And that's a good example of irony. Okay, now don't worry if you haven't 100% grasped this yet. We will be doing a bit more of it. Okay, so hopefully you're a little bit closer to understanding it today. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with a task, okay? Now this video, being the first one, is just a little bit longer than all the other English bites. They're normally going to be about 10-15 minutes at the most. This one's just a little bit longer, just because I'm introducing the story from the beginning, okay? Now, this is a nice bit of challenge for you. I would like you to try to answer this question. How has the writer shocked the reader in this sentence? Okay, we are just writing about this sentence here. How has the writer shocked the reader in this sentence? I would like you to use your two terms, juxtaposition and irony, if you can. If you're only confident with one, use that one, okay? So if you can use two, try and use two. Now, I have given you here a sort of structure for your writing, okay? So it reads, the writer has created a shocking effect on the reader in this sentence through the use of, and then you put in one of the terms. The words, whatever the words are, kinder and killed, create a contrast that is, and then you choose which word you would like to write here. Now this is where the challenge comes, because I would like you to put it into your own words why that contrast is unusual, surprising, opposite, ironic or strange. You choose the word. Why is it strange? And put it in your own words. Okay, if you're not sure, you can rewind the video and hear me talking about it on the other slide. That will give you some ideas. And all I want to see is a little short paragraph where you have written this and put it in your own words. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for the first English Bites video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you learned something, and I want you to watch out for English Bites 2, where we'll continue with the story. Okay, see you next time. Bye.